Okay, everyone, here we are again. Of course, my iPad sometimes decides that it doesn't want to work anymore and just stops. So we are going to continue the previous video. We were working on problem 3, where we are given that df is less than fb. So it's less than 6. So what we know is df is less than 6. It is also not equal to 1, and it is less than fe. Our job is to prove that df is 3. Actually, there's a misprint here. We are proving df is either 3 or 2. Those are the two values that df can take. So using the first theorem that we learned today, I know that 7 times 6 should equal df times fe. So in a sense, df times fe should equal 42. So let's look at what are the factors of 42. So factors of 42 are 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3 and 1, 3 and 14, 5 is not a factor, 4 is not a factor, 6 and 7, and then 7 and 6, 14 and 3, 21 and 2, and 42 and 1. Okay, now let's look at the restrictions that are there on df. So we are saying that this is df times fe. So either df can be 1, and in that case fe is 42, but we are told that df is not 1, so this option does not work. Df can be 2, and then fe is 21. Yeah, that works. Df is 3 and fe is 14. That also works. Df is 6 and fe is 7. But df has to be less than 6. So this one doesn't work either. And as you can see, why I have not listed the other factors 7 and 6, because then df will be greater than fe if I list 7 and 6 as factors. So all those will not work either. So these are the only two values that will work. So yes, df can only be either 3 or 2. Okay, number 4. I'm sure you can do number 4 on your own. So I will let you come back to number 4 and do this on your own. Let's go to the homework problems. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, I think you can all do these on your own, so I will let you come back to them and work on these yourself. And let's go to the next page. In number 1, there is an important piece of information that is missing, and that is that this angle is 28 degrees. This is given to be 28 degrees. And knowing that, you are solving for x then. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of these are really not clear, the angle measures. So I am just going to take a minute and make these a little bit easier to read. So let me get my original copy. Okay. So this is given to be x plus 4 and 3x minus 4. Okay, that is clear. This angle is 42 degrees and this is 25 degrees. That is what is given. Here, this angle is given to be 56. Here they are 28 and 40 degrees. Here it is 94 and 34. And this is y and this is x. Number 6. Okay, number 6, I want to work with you guys on number 6. So let's look at number 6 a little more carefully. I'm trying to get a piece of paper. Okay, here we are. So in number 6, I'm given that the circle has a radius of 4. So these are 4. And DC is given to be 12. And DC and CE are tangents to the circle, and DC is given to be 12. They want me to find the measure of arc EBD. So this arc is what they're asking me to find. And also the area of the quadrilateral DAEC. Okay. So to solve this problem, I know that from this exterior point C, I have two tangents, CD and CE. And I've looked at a theorem that tells me that from the same exterior point, when I draw two tangents to a circle, they are congruent. So this is also going to be 12. Now, I am going to start this problem by connecting points A and C. Here I have connected points A and C. Now, can anyone tell me what is the angle measure, this angle measure? This is going to be a right angle because my radius and tangent are perpendicular to each other at the point of tangency. And similarly, this angle is also a 90-degree angle. So now if I look at my two triangles, ADC and AEC, you can see that the two triangles are congruent. So triangle ACD is going to be congruent to triangle ACE, and I'm using either the SSS criteria or the HL criteria or the SAS criteria, and you can keep going. So I can use any of those criteria to prove that those two are congruent. Now, I need to figure out this EBD. This arc is what they're asking me to find. So, if I can figure out how much this angle, so for this arc, the central angle is DAE. So DAE is the central angle, and if I can find the measure of this central angle, I know how much the arc EBD is. So to do that, let's look at just one of these triangles. I'm going to look at ADC. ADC, I am going to mark this angle as X degrees. Knowing that this length, the radius is 4 and the distance CD is 12, can you think of a way how I can figure out what the measure of angle X is? So take a minute, pause the video here, and think about it. I'm looking at a right triangle in which I have two side lengths, and I am trying to figure out the angle measures. Okay, hopefully you have found this angle measure X, and if you haven't, follow along with me. So I can say, I'm going back to my trig ratios. SOHCAHTOA. So if I'm looking at this angle X, I know these two values. So I know the opposite and I know the adjacent, so I should go with the tan. So tan of angle X is opposite over adjacent, 12 over 4. So to figure out X, I have to do tan inverse of 12 over 4. And when I use my calculator and I find it, I got X to be, let's see what we got X to be. calculator gone? Okay, here it is. And I found that X came out to be 71.56 degrees. So the measure of X was 71.56 degrees. So the measure of angle ADE is going to be 2 times X, because I've already proved that these two triangles are congruent. So this angle is also going to be the same as this angle. So ADE is going to be 2 times 71.56, which is approximately 143.12 degrees. So that is the measure that I got for this angle. So I got angle ADE to be approximately 143.12 degrees. And that is going to be also be the length of the arc EBD is also going to be 143.12, because it's the central arc, the central angle for that intercepted arc. I also have to find the area of this quadrilateral. Now that is straightforward. So area of DAEC, I know all the side lengths. So it is 4 times 12 plus 12 plus 4, 24 plus 8 is going to give me, excuse me, so that's what I got. Okay, I am now going to give you the answers to all the other problems on this lesson. So go ahead and start checking your work with my work. And also please remember to look at the other resources that I have posted to give us the proofs for the 3 theorems that we saw today. Okay, I'm going to start right here. I got, for number 4, I was able to prove that X is 3, which is CF. So the length of CF is indeed 3. So that was an easy problem. Hopefully everyone got it. Here are my homework problems, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you can check your work with my work. And moving on, here is 9. 9 again, I ended up with a quadratic equation and I used factoring again to solve for it. So you can pause the video here if you want to look at my my solution in greater detail. Otherwise, I am going to move to the next page. Okay, here is problem 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, go ahead and pause the video if you need to look at any of these solutions in greater detail. And here is 5. 6 we did together. Moving on to the next page. 7, actually the way I solved it, I got a system of equations where I got 3 equations with 3 variables. So if you want to look at my solution, let's look at number 8 first. For 8, I got x to be 40 degrees and, y to be 40 degrees and x to be 105. And that was an easier solution. If you got that, let's look at 7 together. So in 7, here I started out by figuring out that this angle measure is also 70. And then I labeled my 3 arcs that I have as x, y, and z. And then I solved this equation. Let me make the screen a little smaller. I can't. Okay, so I made 3 equations with the 3 angle measures. Then I used a system of equations with 3 equations and 3 variables to solve for x, y, and z. And I got x as 140, y as 110, and z also as 110. So once you're done with this lesson, make sure that you have looked at resources 1 and 2, and on a separate sheet of paper, try and come up with, write a two-column proof for the theorems that we saw today. So for this theorem 1, 2, and 3, if you can write a 2-column proof for each of them. I will also post some, another on GeoGebra is another website, and I'm going to show you, and it proves these 3 with animation. So you can see what animation they are using and how they are proving triangle similarity by using animation, and go from there. Okay, everyone. Tomorrow and day after, I want you to take a short quiz. So tomorrow you will take part 1 of the quiz, and on Friday part 2. You are going to record your answers. These are multiple choice, so you're going to record your answers on a Google form that I will send you. And I'm not going to grade them and put the grade in the grade book, but I just want to see that how much are you understanding and which problems are you getting stuck on. Bye, everyone.